everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mero and I teach creative people how to sell their art online. And today is a video that I wanted to make for a very long time, and it's basically sort of Etsy myths or Etsy myths debunked, and it's especially targeted for 2022 because I have been getting a lot of comments that are basically the same questions as well as a lot of DMs, and if I am looking into all of these DMs and all of these comments, it sort of feels like everybody's asking me questions about Etsy because they believe in some myth, whether that myth is good or bad. Now, when I say a good myth on Etsy, I mean people that think that Etsy is very easy, or sort of what people think that Etsy will give them if they just opened a store. And the bad things about Etsy, you know, how you can never succeed. The market is oversaturated. You can't really succeed in it in 2022. And I sort of made this list of 14 Etsy myths with one little truth at the end to follow through whether you want to sell anything on Etsy in 2022. While this channel is targeted for people who want to sell printables and digital downloads on Etsy or PayHip, or people who want to sell print on demand on Etsy or on any other platform, this specific video is about Etsy and it's for everyone. It's about if you want to sell printable wall art on Etsy, if you want to sell notebooks like print on demand notebooks, if you want to sell t-shirts on Etsy, even if you are making your own handmade designs and want to sell them on Etsy. I think that it's just a video about Etsy. I mean, just to get you to see what Etsy really is in 2022, the good, the bad, and the truth. So let's get started with our bad myths about Etsy and see if we can debunk them. Okay, so again, I'm going from like bad, or like worse to bad or something like that, because I've been seeing this a lot in a lot of sort of forums and groups. So number one in our myths is Etsy is a scam, I got no sales. Now, the thing is, I'm having a hard time not to laugh about this, but I've heard this about a lot of platforms. I remember people telling me that Fiverr was a scam, even though that I've been selling on Fiverr. And for 2-3 years, Fiverr was like a complete income for me. And people are like, oh no, this is a scam because I'm not selling my product, I'm not selling my service. You do know that, for example, if you make a CV and you want to apply for a job, if the place of employment that you applied to didn't accept you, that doesn't mean it's a scam. It means you were either not qualified or someone else was more qualified or they just took someone else. So if no one is buying your products, maybe they're not good, or maybe they're just buying other products from other people because there are so many other products. The fact is, lack of sales on any platform doesn't mean the platform is a scam. A platform would be a scam if you sold a bunch of stuff and never got your money. That, for example, would be a scam, but Etsy is definitely not a scam. Number two, Etsy is dead. No one shops there anymore. Well, I think that after the first lockdown of COVID, all of e-commerce sales in every platform rose up. I think like it was like Amazon, Redbubble, Etsy. Every single marketplace was reporting the best turnover year ever because people are more and more shopping online, and Etsy gets still a lot of traffic. So traffic is definitely not the problem, and Etsy is not dead. Just because you're not getting traffic doesn't mean that other people aren't getting traffic. Myth number three. You cannot make it as a new seller anymore. Etsy is only for the senior sellers. Now, I don't want to say that this is entirely not true because we also have the opposite myth, which I will be talking about, but the facts are that whenever you're starting anywhere, you don't have reviews, you don't have previous experience, and you do have a lot of other people with a lot of reviews. And I think that the best way that I can compare it is actually comparing it to a YouTube channel. I mean, when I started this channel, who even heard of me? Why would people watch my videos when there are hundreds and thousands of other YouTubers in the print on demand or in the printables niche that are more targeted than I am, that have like more videos, better audio quality, better video quality, and no one knows me? I mean, I was looking at stuff. Why would anyone watch me when I had 20 subscribers? How did I even get to 20? So it does take a lot of time, but the fact is that if you're looking right now and saying, oh, there is no potential way to succeed as a new seller in 2022, guess what? This was the same exact myth or saying in 2019, and people from 2019 who stuck with Etsy are making a lot of sales. There are ways to succeed on Etsy, and of course it's going to take time, but I've also seen people who start up on Etsy and actually succeed from the very first few months, even from the first few weeks, even from the first few days. It's all about how you market yourself, and do you have an audience, and what it is that you're selling, and if what you're selling is even unique. The main reason why people have a hard time succeeding on Etsy as new sellers is everyone else has these reviews and everybody else is getting more traffic than you are because you're new. But the fact is that if you're going to start selling, if you're going to start marketing yourself and bringing traffic in, Etsy's algorithm is going to spot that you're bringing in your own sales and going to promote you on SEO. So you're going to get more sales. And no one starts with many reviews. Yes, you can ask friends to purchase from you, especially if you're selling digital downloads that are relatively cheap, or even ask them to order some of your print-on-demand or handmade products. That is a good way to get started with Etsy and having people review your products. I'm not saying order from yourself. I mean, if you do order from yourself, you're probably going to end up getting banned if you do it through a different account or try to cheat the system. But having friends order from you and promoting yourself and having people come into Etsy because they want to buy something from you, because they've been following you online and they like what you have to offer, that can happen even if you don't have any reviews, even if you are new and your shop was started at 2022. Myth number 5. Do not sell on Etsy because selling on Etsy would lead to people stealing your designs. What now? I'm sorry. People can, let's just start with the fact that everyone can steal your designs. I don't know if you know this, but I've had people asking me what kind of watermark can I put to make people not steal my designs, and let me clarify 2 different types of theft. If I were to post a printable wall art on Etsy, and this is a huge file, and I just post the file as an image, and I don't have any watermark on it, a potential buyer that just want this on a postcard can just save it to their computer and use it on a postcard. The same way I can go into Google and find photos of random stuff and print them to put them, I don't know, on a postcard or in my house, and no one will ever know. But the other type that I think the majority of people are talking about is the theft where people use your designs or use what you've done to make money from it, whether resell the exact file, whether to put it on, t-shirts on a different platform, or even sell it physically. And the thing is that there is no way for you to stop anyone from doing it. I mean, even if you put all the watermarks in the world on a t-shirt design, someone can still look at this and copy this owl pixel per pixel if they're a good illustrator. And anyone can take your printable wall art and go to a physical shop and print it on canvases. I mean, I've literally seen it in marketplaces, and people can do that. But selling on Etsy is not what's gonna make people to steal your art. Posting any type of art anywhere online can be an opening for people to steal it. It's not something that should stop you from selling on Etsy because it's true for any platform, including social media. Number 6, selling print-on-demand on Etsy is not legal. It's not really handmade, so you can't sell it on this platform. Well, that is not true. Plenty of print-on-demand suppliers integrate with Etsy, and there is a place for you to write down your production partner, which is, for example, Printful. And you write down that this production partner does everything for you because you don't have the capability to print and package and ship, or you just don't want to. It's legal to sell print-on-demand products on Etsy if you design them, or if you're using designs that you have the legal right to use. So, I don't know, designs from Creative Fabrica. The only way where this is not going to be legal is if you don't declare your production partner and fake the store location or where things are being shipped from. That would be not legal. Myth number 7, selling on Etsy is oversaturated. Like, for example, selling printable wall art on Etsy is oversaturated. Selling printable greeting cards, selling t-shirts on Etsy. Is there a product that is not oversaturated on Etsy? Maybe free gold. I think maybe there are not enough people selling free diamonds, but anything can be oversaturated. And the fact is that when you're looking at a marketplace like Etsy and saying, oh, selling printable wall art is oversaturated, you mean in comparison to what? What product is not oversaturated? What product is not oversaturated in our lives? Not just in Etsy. I mean, people who sell photography printable wall art, or print-on-demand photography on Etsy. I mean, come on. Any person can go into Pixabay, can go into Shutterstock, buy a huge file, and make themselves a canvas at home. They can go to IKEA. They can go to any store they have next to them. They can have friends send them photos. They can take photos themselves. Everything in our lives is oversaturated. Just ignore it. I mean, if you're making the exact same thing that someone else is making, then yes, maybe this is oversaturated and maybe you shouldn't be doing it. But if you're selling your art, if you are selling something that you really care about, whether it's, liquid Procreate wall art, or if you're selling printable educational sheets for kids, it doesn't matter. There is no such thing as oversaturated when it's something unique that you've done, and you shouldn't pay attention to it, because the fact is, in any oversaturated niche, someone is still selling, right? Myth number 8, and I've heard this referred to me, that when you post on Etsy, bloggers are gonna steal your art for their blog posts, which is not legal. And this is actually quite funny. So I'm an Etsy affiliate. I've been an Etsy affiliate for many, many years. And I've had several blogs where I was blogging about stores. And I remember this one time, this Etsy seller sent me a message, like from the blog reach out section, that they're gonna sue me for showcasing, like for taking products of their, I think it was like resin necklaces or something like that. So they're going to sue me because I featured it in my blog. Now, the reason why they found out that I featured it in my blog was because they were seeing my blog's name as a source of traffic to their Etsy store that brought them sale. Now, as an Etsy affiliate, and actually I think pretty much anyone online can do it, I can take any photo that they upload to Etsy, put it on my blog, as long as there is a link, which there always has been. And this is something that I need you guys to understand. A lot of the power that Etsy has in a marketplace is that if you are good at what you do, some bloggers are going to be promoting you for free because they're affiliates of Etsy. And the affiliate commission for the bloggers is not being paid by you, it's being paid by Etsy. So for example, if I'm an affiliate marketer of Etsy and I wrote about a certain product in my blog and that product sold, the seller is still going to get the same amount of money for that product. All of that is being sponsored and paid for by Etsy. Maybe that's why they take so much fees. Moving on to number 9 in the category of good myths about Etsy. So that's sort of like the reverse. And this is something that I've been hearing a lot. So 1 or 2 hours a week is gonna get you extra income. I've had this so much. I've had so many people DM me, oh my God, I saw this idea. And this is true for Etsy, for Redbubble, for Print on Demand, for Printables, for everything. I've seen people like text me like, oh my God, I saw your video and I'm a single mom and I don't have a lot of time to work and I really need money. So I was thinking about an hour or 2 or 3 a week and Etsy's gonna double my income. And I'm like, what is your current income that 1 or 2 hours a week on Etsy is going to double it? I don't think that people understand sometimes the amount of effort that it takes to launch a new store. And I'm not saying, hey, quit your job, spend 25 hours a day working on your Etsy store. But I am saying that working on your Etsy store an hour or 2-3 hours a week is not going to be enough to exchange your income. Especially not right away, especially when most successful Etsy sellers that I've seen who start out spend 10 to 15 hours a week just on marketing their Etsy store, not just, on the uploading and creating the products. So 1, 2, 3 hours a week is definitely not what's going to make you rich. Not on Etsy, not on Redbubble, not on anywhere. Myth number 10. Etsy is the best marketplace to be on and the best platform to be on because it does all the marketing for you. So not true. I mean, yes, it does marketing, and yes, they do have this marketing thing where you pay them commission if you sell something and they promote you on Google or on social media websites, and they do have their own search engine, and people do go into Etsy and actually buy stuff. There are a lot of Etsy sellers on Etsy who get traffic from Etsy. But Etsy is not going to do all the marketing for you. If you're going to rely on Etsy to do all the marketing for you, especially as a new seller, you're probably going to end up with 0 sales. Etsy is a marketplace meant for Etsy to make money. They're not philanthropists. They're not trying to be nice and push over new artists because that's a nice thing to do. They promote what sells. They're here to make money. Like most of the platforms online, all of the platforms online. I don't think YouTube is that much because I have seen different ways that the algorithm of YouTube features new content, if it's more relevant and chooses new and relevant versus old and maybe not as much relevant. But I do know that the majority of the platforms out there, relying on the platform to do all the marketing for you is just, I don't know, wasting the time you spent working on that platform and uploading to that store, because will pretty much get you nothing. Unless you're selling free diamonds. I hope that we covered that point. Etsy myth to the good. The good myth to debunk, number 11. If I designed it, it has no copyright issues. I've heard it from so many people selling Disney stuff, selling stuff from Netflix shows, selling stuff from movies. And I've heard them like, yeah, but I drew this Little Mermaid, or I drew Batman or Spider-Man, so it's legal. The fact that you drew something that someone else already created doesn't make it yours. The fact is that if you're redrawing something that someone else already created, that's their copyright. So if that work is under a copyright law or trademark, you can't sell it. You can go to websites like Pixabay, for example, where they have stuff for commercial use that you can take inspiration from, or you can upload after modifying it and then create something on it, like basically draw your own style of something that was already free for commercial purposes. But you cannot take characters from movies, names of characters, illustrate lyrics of songs. I've seen it. Honestly, this one drove me nuts. There was a YouTuber talking about how to succeed with print on demand, and they were like, yeah, you found this niche of famous songs, and then you just, do lettering of songs of like Phil Collins and Robbie Williams, and I'm like, those things are copyrighted. These are trademarks. You can't just take lyrics to a song and put them. It doesn't matter how beautiful this illustration text of a song by Robbie Williams is. It doesn't matter how unique you made it. It's still not yours. Etsy, good myth to debunk, number 12. All I have to do is sell a few products and then I'll get plenty of reviews. No, no, so not true. No. When I first started becoming a freelancer in 2015, I was working with a lot of Etsy sellers. I think I had this like consultancy gig on Fiverr, and I think that in the course of 4 years, I worked with over 1,000 or even 1,500 Etsy sellers. And the majority of them had the same problem. They got like 10 or even 9% review rates from the products that they're selling. And the fact is that a lot of people forget to review. I mean, do you review everything you purchase? I'm on the print on demand and I'm like, living online, and even I forget to review stuff. I mean, I just spent the entire morning giving reviews for Skillshare classes that I finished taking 2 weeks ago. I didn't even remember to review them. The facts are that it might also take time for people to be able to review. When you're selling anything that is a digital download or printable, people can only review that product like 2 or 3 days after the purchase. So they purchased something, they downloaded it, they used it, they forgot you exist, and then they need to review it? Usually doesn't work. And a lot of people just forget to go back to the platform and review. They forget where they bought it from, and they also just don't care. It's on you to make sure they review it. And there are ways to do it legally, because you cannot tell people, hey, if you leave a 5-star review for my product, I will give you a discount for next time. That's actually not legal on Etsy, but something that you can do if you're selling, whether it's a physical or a printable product. You can send people messages on Etsy, or if you have their email, telling them, hey, if you review this product with an actual image, whether here on Etsy or on Instagram, I'll give you a discount for next time. That is something you can completely do. And yes, having people review your product on Instagram and tag you is priceless. And also, reviewing you on Etsy with an actual photo of what they got or what they printed from your digital file. Etsy myth number 13, to the good side. All I need is Etsy. The only platform you're ever going to need is Etsy. And while it might be true for some people, because I do know people who make their full-time living off of Etsy, I don't think it's true for anyone. After all, Etsy is a platform that you don't own. Technically, if you have a store on Etsy, it doesn't matter how many sales you have, you don't own your store. Etsy does. And Etsy can close it if you violate any of their crazy rules, or just close it because there is a bug. You can never rely on one source for your items and your designs. You should always try and invest more time in creating more avenues. And I'm not saying, hey, do PayHip or do Shopify because these are better than Etsy. But I'm saying maybe do both. Maybe if you're starting off with Etsy with Printables, you can also sell on PayHip. Maybe if you're combining Printful with Etsy, why not integrate Printful with Shopify and start and see where you get more traffic? When are your marketing efforts actually pay off? I mean, sending traffic to Etsy while you should market your store is still sending traffic to a mega marketplace that does reference other people from within your listing. So maybe it's also best for you to have marketing efforts direct traffic to your Shopify store. And speaking of marketing, there was another video that I planned on doing today. It was either that video or this one that I'm doing right now. And that's a video about all the ways to market your print on demand in 2022, which I will be doing next week. It's going to be 2 videos back to back, all the ways to market your print on demand in 2022 and all the ways to market your digital downloads. Some of the information within these videos will be overlapping, but some is extremely unique to selling either printables or selling print on demand. So there will be 2 marketing videos next week. Cross your fingers, unless I get COVID again. So next week, 2 marketing videos, and I hope that you like them. But I really want to move to the 14th and last myth about Etsy that I want to debunk today, which is if I just copy what a successful store is doing, I'll be successful too. And I've seen this myth in many ways, the majority of which were that I was talking to a client that is setting up an Etsy store and I'm helping them set up an Etsy store. And I'm telling them, the name needs to be longer and the tags needs to be like this and the description needs to be like this. And you have to have certain types of photos and you need to have a logo and an about section. And they always end up doing the same thing. They send me a link to an Etsy store from like 2009 that has bad quality photos, a very short description, and a lot of sales. And they're like, but it's working for this guy. So go back in time, start your store in 2009 where the algorithm was completely different and there was less competition, and maybe you'll succeed as well retroactively all these years. But the fact is that what works for other people might not work for you, especially if what they're selling is different. I mean, I remember there was this one woman, she was selling print-on-demand necklaces. This was not long ago, actually. And she sent me this link to another store. And she was like, yeah, but this store has different photos. Because I was telling her you need a photo like this and a photo like that and a description. And she was like, yeah, but this store is selling a lot of sales. And, they have a very short description. I'm like, that store is selling resin handmade necklaces. And that store has 100,000 followers on Instagram. It has nothing to do with what you're selling. And I've also seen people go like, I walked into this store that is selling a lot of stuff, and it's a new store, so it's not like the Etsy algorithm, and they only have like 500 likes on Facebook, so it works. And I'm like, you have no idea how much money they spend on Facebook ads or Etsy ads. I mean, you could be looking at successful stores on Etsy thinking, oh my God, they sold 100 or 200 products, but I actually know a lot of people who manage to sell 300, 400 sales a month on Etsy and lose money. Never look at what other people are doing and say, if I do the same, I'm going to be successful. Unless you know what the same in that case means. Unless you know how much money they spend on marketing. Unless you know where they market. What if the marketing platform is basically contacting bloggers and having bloggers write about them? What if they're on YouTube? What if they are posting on Instagram and they have a lot of followers, but they just didn't put the Instagram link on Etsy? That doesn't mean they don't have Instagram. You really need to just, look at what you're doing. And that leads me to the one truth about Etsy. But before we hear that one truth, I would like to ask you something. What did I want to ask you? Oh, this COVID messed up with my brain. Oh, yeah. If you like this video or found this content useful, please hit that like button down below, because every time you do, it really does help my channel. And subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. Now, for the one truth about Etsy. The fact is, Etsy is a mall. It's a huge online mall that allows you to open a store. And just because a store is in a mall doesn't mean it doesn't do marketing. Doesn't mean it doesn't need branding. And yes, people can walk into a physical mall and just enter a store like Nike. not knowing what Nike is, not caring what Nike is. They just see a pair of shoes and they want them and buy them. People can walk down a market and just see a tank top or a hoodie and like it and buy it. People can just look at a piece of canvas that has a nice painting and say, this might look good in my living room. But the fact is that everybody that sells anything anywhere needs to do marketing. Etsy is a huge marketplace, a wonderful marketplace, and there are so many ways for you to utilize this platform to make money online. But it is a huge mall and you're one little shop and you need to stand out. You need to have a good product in a good price with a good design targeted to a specific audience that you know, that you recognize this audience, that you engage with this audience, that you're always there for this audience. You need to create this, I don't know, you need to create something that people want to buy, and not just something that people want to buy, but also something that people want to buy from you. That is the truth about Etsy. It's not perfect. It can be a huge step up for new sellers. It can be a huge bump, because if you do have a good product in a good price and you do have a good niche and a lot of people would be interested in your product and you find a way to market them, you are going to get the bump from Etsy, from the marketplace, while they will be referring traffic to you as well. But you can never just rely on them, and you can never think that this is the key to success. This is not easy. This is work like any other work. And I think that I said it when I did a video a long time ago about what is passive income, because some people think that passive income is doing nothing and then getting money. No, that's not the case. I think that's called retirement. But passive income is actually doing a lot of work in advance to maybe make money later. And I think that there is no opinion that I have to give you if you should be selling on Etsy or not. You should look at all these myths and make sure that the reason why you want to sell on Etsy or why you don't want to sell on Etsy has nothing to do with any of these myths. I mean, don't go and saying, I'm not going to sell on Etsy because this is oversaturated. And don't go saying, oh, I'm going to go sell on Etsy because I'm going to make money fast. Look at the facts and then decide if Etsy is for you. Maybe Etsy is not for you. Maybe it is. But for sure, maybe you should invest time in Etsy plus in something else. Maybe you should sell your designs on Society6 as well as print on demand on Etsy, sell printable wall art on Etsy, and then sell it on physical puzzles on Zazzle, or any kind of other combination, whether you're selling print on demand or printables or even handmade products. Just do you, I guess, and watch the marketing videos next week, because they will sure help you out. By the way, if there are any other videos you want me to make other than these 2 marketing videos next week that will help you with your Etsy journey in 2022, please let me know in the comment section down below. But that was it from me for today, with 14 myths to debunk on Etsy in 2022 and 1 little truth. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and as usual, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!